This is Shalaya with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is listings and landing pages. So to get started, we are going to log into Command. So you want to go to agent.kw.com. And as a reminder, when logging in, your username is not case sensitive. However, your password is. If you do have any trouble signing in, if you click on this little eyeball icon here, that will give you a preview of this password box, so you can be sure that that's keyed in properly there. Once you have your login keyed in, we can click on sign in. We do recommend using the Google Chrome browser. We find that this works the best with the KW platforms. So the things we are going to cover in today's class, we are going to review our marketing profile. We will go over the listings tab, as well as creating a landing page. Landing pages are great for giving value back to your sellers. You can use them for open house sign-in sheets, client appreciation events, listing advertising, and anything else that you can think of that you want to create a custom page for your clients or advertising. So to get started, we are going to be sure our marketing profile is completed and up to date. So to get there, we're going to go to our name in the top right corner. And then we're going to go down to settings. Once you're in settings, on the left side menu, we're going to click on the drop down for connect settings. And this is where our marketing profile lives. So we're going to click on that. So we're just going to start from the top down and go over the whole marketing profile here. Starting at the beginning, in the top right, you'll see this little green toggle here. You do want to make sure this is always turned on. If by some chance this is not green, it's gray, or you don't see anything, that means that your marketing profile is not feeding over to your marketing. So this toggle here is what feeds all of your information to your website, your landing pages, and all of your other marketing materials that you do within Command. So making sure that this profile is always up to date and turned on is very important when you're marketing yourself through Command. So starting from the top, we have our headshot photo here. You do want to be sure your headshot is a perfect square. If it looks distorted in this circle, that is how it will appear on your marketing. If you do have any trouble cropping or resizing your photo, you can email that over to us and we can get that adjusted for you. Next, we have a team logo. So if you are not on a team, you don't have to have a team logo here. You can throw any image in here. We usually recommend like a generic KW logo like this one, or you can use a realtor logo or any other image that you might want to use for your business is fine. The reason we recommend having an image here is some of the marketing does automatically pull that logo in. So if you don't have something uploaded there, it shows up on your marketing as a broken image link. So below that, we have our details, which is our information. You do want to be sure your name matches the name on your license to be sure you are in compliance. And then we have our license number. If you are on a team, your team name would go here. Your job title. If you have a custom slogan that you use for your business, you can add that to your profile here. Designations. If you're not sure how to get this little R icon here, if you hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, and while you're holding that down, type in 0174, that will give you that little logo there. Next up, we have military affiliation. So if you are affiliated with the military in any way, there are multiple options to choose from. You have active duty, reserves, veteran, military spouse, Gold Star family, military family member, National Guard, or supporter patriot. When you select your affiliation, it then gives you the option to select the branch over here. Next, we have our bio. So you can expand this view by hovering your mouse over the bottom right corner. And then once you see those arrows, you can click and drag it down. So if you do have a longer bio, that helps to be able to see it all at one time, instead of having to scroll through the box and make sure that it's formatted correctly. So the way your bio looks in this box is how it will look on your marketing. So if you do have like these line breaks between your paragraphs, anything like that, this is where you want to be sure that is reflecting correctly. Down below the bio, we have our contact information. So we have our mobile phone number, office phone number. If you or your office has a fax number you want to put on your marketing, you can add that here. If by chance you are in another country, you can click this drop down and that will change the country code here. For the email, you will probably see your KW email in this box. If you do have another business email that you use for your business, you can put that in there. You are not required to use your KW email. Next, we have our website URL. So if by some chance you are using a custom website domain, or you have a custom website that you're using outside of command, you can use that URL in this box instead of the command website URL. Whatever website is listed here is what shows up on your marketing materials. If you are using your command site domain, we do recommend being sure that you do not have www before your domain, as the command websites do not work with that formatting. We do recommend being sure that this HTTPS is in here. That part is what makes your link clickable on your marketing. Next, we have our market center information. So you'll have your market center logo here. Now, unlike the headshot photos, the logos do not need to look clear in these little circles. If they look distorted here, they will correct themselves on your marketing. It is only the headshot that you want to be sure is cropped down correctly. We do recommend being sure that the correct office address is in here. If by some chance you have transferred offices, your office has moved, anything like that, always be sure that this is reflecting the correct information. Below that, we have our compliance items. So we have legal footer text. If your office has any text that they require for compliance, you can add that in here. We do like to note that you do not have to put each office is independently owned and operated in there. That's not required because that is automatically on your marketing already. So if you were to type that in there, it would show up twice. Below that, we have our legal footer links. So if you have any links that are required for your market center, for example, Texas agents require their commission information links in here, and New York agents require their standard operating procedure link. If you need to add links, if you click on the add link button, it will give you the boxes to add your title and your URL link here. And then to delete them, you just simply click on the red trash icon on the right side here. Next, we have legal footer images. These images are very small, they're thumbnail size. You'll see it lists that they are 128 by 48 pixels. You probably don't want to use this for any like big advertising or anything. You could use this, however, for any additional designation or credential icons or logos, things like that. And then below that, we have our social media links. So if you have your social media pages built out, you can put your URLs in here. So you have the option for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, if you do have your own YouTube channel, as well as your LinkedIn profile. By adding your links in here, that will add them to your consumer website. And then at the bottom, we have Google Analytics ID. Now, Google Analytics is not currently working with Command. They recently updated their platform, so Command is working to update to match that. But when it is working, the way that works is you would set that up through Google Analytics, add your tracking ID to your marketing profile, and then it would track the traffic coming to your website. So once you have finished filling out your marketing profile, be sure to click Save at the bottom. That's going to refresh back to the top and give you a little message that your marketing profile was successfully saved. So now that we've gotten that done, we can go ahead and go into our listings. So on the left-hand side are icons here. If you are still getting familiar with these, if you click on the red KW in the top left corner, it will bring out the description of each icon. It's very helpful as you're getting familiar with what each of these icons mean. So we're going to go into the listings tab. So once you go into listings, it's going to automatically bring you under My Listings. So if you have any active listings, you should be able to see those here. You do have to initially sync your MLS in order for those to show up. But once you sync it for the first time, it will automatically sync all of your future listings from that point on. So to sync your MLS, you will want to click on this Sync My MLS button here. And then you will search by listing address or MLS number. We do find that MLS number works the best over the address. Now, we do not have currently any active listings to sync, but if you do have an active listing, you can go ahead and sync that up by entering your MLS number here. And then on the next screen, it will ask you if you are the primary listing agent. And then it will send you a verification email to your KW email or whatever business email you have listed in your profile. And then once that has been confirmed, you will be able to see your listings here. If you do have any trouble syncing your listings, you can always email us your MLS ID and we can take a look at syncing that up for you as well. So at the top, if we switch over to search, you will see the map here, as well as a list of listings on the right side. So this kind of works similar to any other listing platform like Zillow or Realtor.com to look up listings here. So you can either search by property address, MLS number, or KWLS ID. Or if you just want to look in a particular area, you can zoom in on the map. And you can do that either with, if you have a scroll bar on your mouse, or the little plus and minus icons in the bottom right of the map here. So we're just going to zoom in on Central Florida here. So that's going to bring up all the listings for this area that are in the MLS. And this pulls from all the MLS systems. It's not just restricted to KWLS. So you'll be able to view all listings in here. So if we click on a listing over here, we'll have the listing details right from the MLS listing, photos, open houses, if they have any open houses scheduled, virtual tours, as well as any additional links that might be in there. So this helps you from going from one site to another if you're trying to look up a listing real quick, find some information, anything like that. Everything's kind of housed in one place, which is very convenient. So from here, we're going to go ahead and go into our landing pages. So again, if you're not familiar with these icons yet, go ahead and click on the top left corner. So now we're going to go into consumer. So consumer tab is where our website is held. So if you're not sure of what the difference is between agent site pages and landing pages, agent site pages are pages within your consumer website. So if we click on our website here and click on our drop-down menu, these are all of our agent site pages. Landing pages work differently. Landing pages are standalone one-off pages. So they're individual pages. They're not linked to your website in any way. So that's why they're good for listings, open house sign-ins, event appreciations, anything like that, any custom materials you want to create that you don't want saved on your website permanently, landing pages are great for. So we're going to start by creating a listing landing page. So I'm going to go to the top right corner and click on Create New Page. So when you click on this, it's going to ask you if you want to create a page on your agent site or if you want to create a landing page. So we're going to click on landing page and we're going to hit create. So before I start building this page out, I'm going to go over all of the widget options on the right-hand side. So the top two options, you have agent branding and branded header. We recommend using the branded header over the agent branding. It just looks a lot cleaner. I'll show you the difference here. So that's the agent branding. And then this is our agent header. So the header looks a lot cleaner if you're building out a page for listings or open houses, things like that. You have lead form. So lead form is pretty much just as it is. It captures lead information. We have our legal footer. So we do recommend always including your branded header and legal footer on all pages that you are creating. We have our listing widget. This is where you can bring your listing in, which this is the one we're going to use for the page, but I'm going to finish showing you the rest of the widgets here first. We have Market Snap. So this is a snapshot of a neighborhood market. It will give brief information on statistics for active and sold, and these can also be customized as well. We have your local expert. So this is kind of like your agent profile. So it'll bring in your bio and information from your marketing profile. So again, always making sure that marketing profile is up to date is very important because all of that information pulls into your marketing. If you want to add a video to your landing page, you can add a video. The way this works is you would link it up. So if you had a video that you uploaded to YouTube, you could add that video in here by using that widget there. We have testimonial capture. So this is a way that you can capture client reviews. We usually recommend having a testimonial page on your consumer website rather than using it on a landing page, because that's probably something that you want to keep active all the time. And then last, we have a download my app widget. So this is where they can go to download your branded app. So for this, I am going to build out a listing page. So I'm going to use our listing widget, and I'm also going to use the lead form widget. Now I want the lead form widget to be under the listing information. And I find when adding widgets, it can be easier to add from the bottom up rather than from the top down. Because as you're adding widgets, the more it builds out, the harder it can get to drag and drop things in here. So if I wanted to drop this under that footer, it's hard to see where that green line is dropping. So you don't know exactly where it's going to go. But if you start from the bottom up, you'll know exactly where everything is being placed. So wherever that green line is, that's where your widget is going to drop. So once we have our widgets in here, we will go ahead and click on Configure Widget in the bottom right corner. So it's automatically going to bring us to that listing widget. So we're going to click on Browse Listings. So again, here you can search by property address, MLS number, or KWLS ID. Even with this, we find that MLS number works the best when searching for a particular listing. We don't have a certain listing to use right now, so we're just going to grab any random listing in here. So we'll grab this Willow Park Drive here. So once you grab the listing, it's going to pull those photos and information over right from the MLS. So you're going to confirm which picture you want for the main image here. Usually it's going to be the first photo. That's usually going to be your front house picture. But if you do have another image that you prefer to use, you can simply click on it. Once that blue frame is around it, you'll know it's selected. And then at the bottom, we're going to click Save and Apply. So that's going to automatically update our widget with our listing information over here. All of this feeds right from the MLS listing. And then you'll see we have that lead form right at the bottom. So now we are going to click on the arrow here. That way we can edit our lead form. Now the only thing that we can edit on the lead form is the title. You cannot edit the default text in the boxes here. So we can edit the title header here. And you can change this, you can customize the text on it, or you can just leave it as the default. Whatever you want to do with that, you can customize however you prefer. So now that we've got that done, we have our page here. We do always recommend renaming your page before you save it. So if we go to the top left, you'll see this text box here. So if we clear this out, I usually enter the listing address for the page name if I'm doing a listing page. And then on the right side, we have the option to save landing page or publish page. So if we save it, it basically saves it as a draft and it will not be public for people to view yet. If we publish it, that page automatically goes public and can be used and shared. So we're going to go ahead and publish this. So it's going to confirm that you do want to make this an active page. We're going to click on Yes, Update. And so that brings us right back to our main consumer page under Agent Site Pages. So we're going to click over to Landing Pages. So you'll see that page we just created is here at the top. So on the right-hand side, these three dots, we have a drop-down menu to edit the page, change the URL, deactivate the page, or completely delete the page. So we're going to go ahead and change the URL because as you'll see, it defaults to just random letters and numbers here. So we'll click on that. Now the first part of the URL you cannot edit, however, the end of it you can. So we'll go ahead and enter the address here. Now you cannot have spaces in your URLs. If you do add a space, you'll see it goes red and lets you know it's not allowed there. However, you can add dashes if you do want to separate your words out. So once we have that filled in, we will hit create. So that automatically updates there. And if we click on the URL here, that's going to bring us to our landing page. So there's the listing page we just created. There's our lead form. And we've got our branded footer down here and our branded header up at the top. So now you could take that URL and share it and advertise that listing as a custom branded page here. So the next page I will show you is how to create an open house sign-in sheet. These are great if you want to do virtual sign-ins. You can create a landing page and then you could generate a QR code for the page, print that out, set it up on your table. And then as people come into your open house, you can simply have them scan it on their phone and fill out the open house form And then those will automatically go into your contact database as a lead from your open house. So that's a great way to utilize landing pages as well. So we're going to go ahead and create new page again. And we're going to select landing page and create. So this is going to be very similar to the page we just created, except we're going to flip the lead form and the listing. So we'll put the lead form on top and then the listing on the bottom. We usually recommend adding the listing to your open house sign-in sheet, because if by some chance you have someone come into your open house that's just seeing your signs on the side of the street, they don't know anything about the property yet, they can come in and scan that code to view your open house sheet and view the whole MLS sheet on there as well. So we'll go ahead and grab our branded header and our legal footer. And then for this one, I'm going to drop in the listing widget first, and then the lead form widget on top of that. That way, the first thing they do is sign in here, and then they can scroll down and view the listing. So we're going to go ahead and configure our widgets. Now for this, before we configure the listing widget, we're going to click on branded header. And we're going to add a header text here. And you can use whatever wording, verbiage you want for this. You can customize it however you would like. So we're just going to put in there, welcome to our open house. And we will save and apply. And that's going to add that to the top of our page here. So now we're going to click on the little arrow here at the top right and go to our lead form. So we'll put, please sign in here. And again, you can use any verbiage you want here. We'll save and apply. So that's going to update our lead form there. And now we're going to go to the top right and click on that arrow again. So now we're going to configure our listing widget. And let's see if we can find that same listing here. There we go. So that's the listing we used on our last landing page. So we'll just grab the same one here. We'll select the listing, save and apply. So very similar to the last page we created, we just flipped the lead form and the listing and changed some of the verbiage in the forms here. So now we have our header, our sign-in, our listing information, and our legal footer. So again, before publishing this, I'm going to go to the top left and change the page name. So for this, I'm going to name an open house and add a date to it. So we'll say it's this Sunday. This just helps sort it when you're looking through your list of landing pages. If you do have a lot of landing pages, that way you know you're grabbing the correct one. So whatever you name your page here, no one else sees that. This page name is pretty much for your reference only. So once we have that done, we'll go ahead and publish page. Yes, we do want to publish it. So again, it brings us back to the main consumer page. So we're going to click on landing pages. And we're going to go to those three dots on the right side and update our URL here. And again, you can use any wording or verbiage you want to do here. If you would prefer to put open house in the property address, or you can put the date, however you want to do it. So there we have our open house sign-in page here. So at the top, we have our header, welcome to our open house. We have our sign-in form and our listing. So that about covers what we are going to go over in today's class. We went over our listings, our landing pages. You can create your own custom landing pages if you would like to. We went over all those widgets. If you do run into any trouble or need any help with anything at all, you can email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can definitely help you get these pages up and running for you. Thank you for joining today. I hope you all have a great rest of your week.